Hi, good day to you all. First of all, thank you for giving me an opportunity for a paper presentation in the international conference MediaKonnect'21 organized by NUV. The topic here we are going to discuss is a critique of content moderation of Facebook, a study based on Stop the Steal conspiracy campaign. The online content moderation, that is what stays online and what gets taken down, is an indispensable aspect of the social media industry. The recent 2020 US presidential election and the riots followed it is an example for this. A campaign named Stop the Steal promoted the conspiracy theory that the Democrats were trying to steal the election. The false claims were made even though the Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden had clear majority. The misinformed pro-Trump team was not ready to accept the election results as such. Stop the Steal Facebook group gained more than 350,000 members in less than a day. Findings show that a section of people would believe in the information disseminated to them via social media even if there is no proof and truth in it. Content moderation of Facebook is not effective and so on. The content analysis of the document is used for generating the result and solving the problem. To introduce the topic, the process of deciding what stays online and what gets taken down is an indispensable aspect of the social media industry. The US presidential election 2020 witnessed an unprecedented drama that even shattered the integrity of election and raised threat to the whole democracy. They stated that the Democrats were trying to steal the election in certain states of US where Joe Biden got majority votes. Even before the results of the election were out, Mr. President himself publicly declared that he has won the election. This proves that people believe in fake news disseminated via social media platforms like Facebook, even if there is no authenticity in it. Thus, social media content moderation gains significance today. To talk about the origin of the Stop the Steal campaign, it was started by Roger Stone, a Republican, in 2016 as a website. It gained prominence during the 2020 US presidential election when the Republican presidential candidate, Mr. Donald Trump, was defeated by the Democratic candidate Joe Biden in a few states. Stop the Steal Facebook group gained more than 350,000 members in less than a day, and later Facebook has removed this group. Now let us discuss the Stop the Steal hashtag. The Stop the Steal hashtag has also become a popular thing on Twitter. Based on certain observations, Twitter also started monitoring the hashtag Stop the Steal and related tweets alike the Facebook. The background of the study is that this is not a rare incident. There are numerous cases in the US politics as well as other parts of the world. The targeting the Rohingya Muslims through Facebook is the best example to be cited, which resulted in exiling them forcefully from Myanmar. Social media imperialism of Silicon Valley giants such as Google, Apple, Facebook, Amazon, and Microsoft is a major concern today. In this context, content moderation of social media is a debated topic. Billions of posts are uploaded in social media and more than 10% are fake or blunders. This is due to the social media business model. Increase in misinformation, escalation of offensive content, more users but less content moderators are some of the other significant areas which needs a study. Next is a research problem. Conspiracy theories instigated with hidden agenda jeopardizes the credibility and reliability of the entire media. Common people will refrain from believing what is there on the media, seeing all these games between certain parties, certain rulers and leaders in the politics, where this will lead to a doubt in the minds of people that where the US media reports were biased by favoring Joe Biden. And is there no provision and measures to control the social media content? And this paper attempts to find an answer to these problems on the basis of Stop the Steal conspiracy theory. Next, we are going to discuss is the objectives of the study. To analyze Stop the Steal campaign and its negative impacts upon the democratic society. The second one is to critically examine different issues of existing content moderation practices on Facebook and to study the need of content moderation policies in social media platforms. For review of literature, I have referred Kansia Robe in an article in CNN titled Stop the Steal's Massive Disinformation Campaign Connected to Roger Stone, Julia C. Wong, Fernandez A. Matamoros, Beckett Jennifer, an article by Sohini Bakshi, Copia Institute, an article, Content Moderation Case Study, Facebook's Internal Hate Speech Guidelines, etc. The methodology followed in this study is a critical analysis exploring content moderation articles and research papers. Certain documentaries are also analyzed for the same. Analysis is done through certain points like Stop the Steal Facebook group and false claims, like several Facebook groups were started from 2020 November 6. That is just after the results have been out of the US presidential elections. The group have uploaded a video of crowd outside the polling station at Detroit and shouting the slogan, "Stop the court." This viral video made this group one of the fastest growing groups in the Facebook history within 24 hours, that is 3.3 lakh users in a day. Every few minutes, videos, photographs, and testimonials of voter fraud were posted. It was shared to other social media platforms also. The pro-Trump highlighted these posts and the evidences for legitimacy in voting. Though Facebook executives shut down this group later, it caused unrepairable damages. This is an example of how social media can be a powerful tool for spreading misinformation across different platforms. False claim of this group. There were certain false claims made by this group. One of the main claims that raised up was that there was widespread voter fraud undermined the election and swung the vote against President Trump. But the fact is that neither election officials nor journalists have found any evidence to support the claim. Another allegation is that tens of thousands of dead people have voted. That is, they have casted the vote. For this too, there is no proof. Thirdly, voters cast unauthorized votes under maiden names. Election officials see that they did not get any complaint from anyone that their votes were stolen. Fourth was related with software anomalies, where they say that there was a software glitch by Dominion Voting Systems, the company that make the election software, but the elections official say that the software issue will not affect the final counting of the vote. There were certain official declaration after the US presidential elections. That is, Trump's campaign claimed irregularities mainly in places such as Georgia, Pennsylvania, Nevada, etc. According to election officials, we have a pretty clean and efficient process. It is a transparent process. And in Georgia, we like to keep it transparent, says the election officials. criticism from his own Republican Party, that is, Trump's own party. Not even the Republican senators could find any irregularities. According to certain followers of Trump itself, the president's speech last night was very disturbing to me the because he made very serious allegations without any evidence to support it. They commented. There were even court judgments after the US presidential elections that there were no proved backgrounds to find that the certain malpractices have been done in the elections. Fake content and moderation challenges. This Stop the Steal campaign is just a sample and it affected only the US democracy. But certain contents have deadly effects. The nastiest example in the recent history is the members of Myanmar's military used Facebook to incite genocide against the Muslim Rohingya minority in 2016 and in 2017. Facebook later admitted that it failed to enforce its own policies banning hate speech and the incitement of violence in the social media content. Content moderation faced a great disaster during the pandemic. All the social media giants faced the logistical problem of shortage of human resources by shutting down office and initiating work from home. Naturally, the content moderation was temporarily handed over to artificial intelligence, which was not appropriate for the content like the Facebook and Twitter and the whole social media as such. But the limitation of the AI is that it can identify only a few things like nudity, spam, etc., where only human beings can understand the hidden agendas in certain posts and videos or pictures. The next thing we need to discuss is a social media business model. In 2008, with 100 million Facebook users, there were only 12 content moderators. That means a very few. There were less offensive content and moderators were supposed to remove. But because of the social media business model that emphasis to add more users and revenue generating advertisements, there will be naturally more inflow of content or rather disturbing content unless monitored. The government metaphor of Facebook is then and Google done. The monopolistic tendency of the social media which leads to the engulfing of entire media and its supreme control is often termed as Facebookistan and Googledom. Facebook is more like a government than a traditional company. We have this large community of people and more than other technology companies, we are setting policy. Mark Zuckerberg once said, it is a government metaphor that the content moderators are the police officers who control the internet traffic and maintain discipline among the social media users. However, in the current situation, they are rent-a-cops only controlled by third-party vendors. There are huge gaps and cases are piling. Currently, Facebook platform supports around 100 languages, but FB moderators collectively understand only 50 languages, which is a very huge gap, and the number of moderators is also very less. Fact checking. Facebook fact checking is done by journalistic organizations such as AFP and Reuters to small groups such as PolitiFact. But PolitiFact checks only 2,000 to 3,000 FB posts per day, and this too is very less. To conclude, from the above examination of Facebook content moderation, it can be concluded that the existing moderation method and policies of the social media platforms are inappropriate. Stop the Steal campaign did not tamper the US society as it was detected and removed early. But there are other countless cases that go unnoticed, which can cause damage to the society. There are certain recommendations suggested by Paul Barrett in their report that are good solutions for this problem if it is implemented. The first point is that Facebook needs to bring content moderators in-house. That is, Facebook needs to employ their own employees for content moderation rather than renting out these employees from other firms. The current number of 15,000 employees must be doubled to increase the quality of the content and so as to reduce the workload of each moderator so that the content will be better. Facebook must treat moderation as a central part of its business, as it is as important to get content and it is as important to get a content and to get it moderated. Both the sides are equally important. And the fifth point is to provide on-site top quality medical care to the content moderators. That they need certain people will be under great trauma after seeing such terrible certain criminal sites and videos and certain disturbing videos, disturbing pictures. They will be under trauma, these moderators, and they need on-site quality medical care, and these media giants should give them proper attention. And the sixth point is that explore narrowly tailored government regulations. There are so many regulations but they cannot help the social media spreading of fake news and blunders very much. And the government control and company monitoring must be more vigilant to avoid dangerous situations in future and never to repeat a situation like US presidential elections 2020. Thank you.